Hello there guys and welcome back to a brand new video. The other day we got a bit of news regarding Star Wars Battlefront 3, so I thought I'd go over it for you guys in today's video. The news is somewhat expected and is definitely disappointing, but it seems that a lot of developers on Battlefield 2042 are now moving back to their original projects or they're starting their new ones. This means that a lot of the team at DICE Stockholm are beginning to work on their next game, which sadly, according to Tom Henderson, is the next Battlefield title and not Star Wars Battlefront 3. Tom Henderson, for those unaware, is a super reliable gaming insider who runs a lot of stories on Battlefield and Call of Duty primarily, along with other games as well, and he was also one of the original leakers behind the Quantic Dream Star Wars game news. But of course this does mean that it's not official news, so you should absolutely take it with a grain of salt. Assuming that this news is true, then it's obviously very disappointing. The Star Wars Battlefront community is huge and the player base is absolutely there for a third title. Ever since the end of Battlefront 2's live service, the Battlefront community have been begging for a third game, so whenever they released it, they'd no doubt make a ton of money from it. You then have the extensive list of upcoming Star Wars projects, of which we just had some new ones announced today, though I'm not sure what they are as of making this video, it's the day before. With all of these TV shows, films, comics, books and more, the potential for content is just huge. Even when Battlefront 2 was still going, you had endless potential with the Clone Wars and Rebels, along with the likes of Resistance, The Mandalorian and even the 11 films at the time, 12 if you include the Clone Wars film. So let's say DICE launched Battlefront 3 today with a ton of content from all the films and TV shows that we have right now. This means that every time a new show or film comes out, they could do some themed content around it. The Book of Boba Fett is the perfect example for this. Whilst we don't know an awful lot about it beyond the trailer, they could definitely add some skins for Boba, as well as maybe even new alien species for the Rebels and Resistance. Player identity would hopefully be a big thing in the game as well, just like it is in the newly released Battlefield 2042, so you could then have player cards and emblems inspired by Fennec Shand, Gamorrean guards and literally anything else that's in the show. The next show is likely then Kenobi, which means that you could then do themed content around that, and so on with all upcoming releases. So with all of this insane content to come, this means that they could easily do seasons in which some content is inspired by the latest show, along with other content from around the timeline. This also means that there's a few good monetization options. For example, they could do a battle pass, or they could even have an item shop where content is swapped out and introduced daily, and it also means that they could lock a number of cosmetics behind a paywall, or they could just do what they do in Battlefront 2 where you can buy skins with real money or in-game credits, or perhaps you find a way to integrate a few of them or all of them. With all of that great potential for content, I have no doubt that DICE would make a ton of money just from cosmetic sales alone, on top of the huge number of game sales. In short, it genuinely baffles me that they want to miss out on this opportunity. Now, it's all well and good me going on about how bizarre I find this, but let's take a look at where this has all actually come from. In one of the investor calls this year, I believe it was the August one, EA CEO Andrew Wilson said that they really want to release a new Battlefield game every 2 to 3 years. Whilst DICE could once again split up as they did for the first two Battlefront games, I sadly really cannot see that happening, which means that a 2 to 3 year release schedule gives very little time for a Battlefront 3 to even be worked on. A year and a half ago, Andrew said that they wanted to double down on Star Wars games, and earlier this year EA came out to say that they are indeed working on more and look forward to the future. Obviously things can change in that time, but hopefully they won't. Hopefully EA will continue to make Star Wars games for many years to come, along with other developers and publishers, and hopefully one of those games will eventually be Battlefront 3, but for now it's not looking very likely to be in the next few years. So guys, that is all I have for you today. I know it's not the news you were hoping to hear, but we'll no doubt have many great Star Wars games to come. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all things Star Wars gaming. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.